Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Today in 30-minute sessions we have two special guests. We're going to be talking to Joel and Pat. You can find both of the descriptions in the description below. And first off, before we get into anything else, I will really respect if you guys will like the video, subscribe, dislike the video if you want to. We're just here giving our opinions and trying to grow our little section on YouTube. And I wanted to say first off too, thank you for all of the support you guys been giving me and both of these gentlemen on screen. Like, the support from the Giants Nation has been absolutely amazing. And we have a big game tonight. So I'm gonna let them plug themselves real fast. Let the people know where to find you at. If you guys got any videos coming up later on today or tomorrow. And I know you guys will probably be calling the game tonight. So I'll let you guys plug your channels for a bit and then we can get into questions.
Joel, go ahead, Pat. Oh, you want me to go first? Okay. I'm Classified3F with Joel. The 3F stands for, fishing, family, fun, football. I try to give out stuff that people don't want to talk about or don't like bringing up. Whether it's about family issues, whether it's about, the nostalgia that the Giants have, letting younger people get a hold of some of the information that's just, not out there, or stuff from my memories. I try to remind people every day, be there for your family. If you have family, YouTube is second, video games are second, family first. And that's basically what I try to do. And I want to just have fun. So anything that, people, have issues or you want a video of, man, just shoot me a message. We'll definitely talk about it, or I'll bring it up in a video and describe how I feel or what I would do.
I love it. Hell yeah. And Pat, where can these people find you at?
You can find me here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Bigpatssportstalk. Major Giants fan. A lot of my content is on Giants content, but I do other content like NBA. I call live NBA games, have news on other teams, so that'll be coming out. It'll be my breaking news section. I'm trying that out today with some more breaking news today, but other than that, man, I'm a Giants fan, true, and I just try to speak the real on all subjects Giants.
Let's get it. Hell yeah. And both of the links, like I said before, will be in the description below, so make sure you guys go check them out. That being said, is there any, we got a big game tonight. We've been talking about it all week. We're going against, Kansas City Chiefs. Big game. Mahomes is going to be starting, and I would want to get into that game, but we're gonna do this. Was there any wins yesterday that surprised you guys? Any team that got a victory that you didn't see coming? Pat, let's start with you.
I'm gonna tell you that Jets win over the Bengals surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings losing to the Cowboys surprised me without Dak Prescott. Those two games surprised me. The Jets winning that Bengals game was absolutely mind-boggling because I thought the Bengals defense would be able to hold them and not give them, 34 points to a backup quarterback with the Jets. They're bad enough with their starting quarterback, but they won with their backup quarterback and put up 34 points in the process.
And the backup quarterback, I believe, threw for like 400 yards. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, he threw for like 400 yards. That's like crazy. So that game really surprised me. And that Vikings game, man, I think the Vikings need to move on from Kirk Cousins. I'm going to just be real with you. I think they need to move on from Kirk Cousins. He's not the leader that you need in order to go deep into the playoffs. He proved that last night. You got a backup quarterback with the Dallas Cowboys. Your defense gives you 2 turnovers. Your defense continues to give you the ball back. So
and it's not like you don't have rippings, Cousins. You have so much rippings.
You got Justin Jefferson, you got Thielen, you got Cook, you got your tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
Your offensive line is not that bad. Like, I don't understand what was going on with that game. They kept getting the ball back, and they kept not doing anything. When I was like, they're gonna let this guy Cooper Rush win this game, and he did. Cooper Rush won that game in the end because you could only put up 16 points with 2 turnovers, and you kept getting the ball back. It makes it so bad that last drive when they didn't score a touchdown. They had like 3 personal foul penalties on that drive, and they still couldn't put it in the end zone.
It was like the last minute
terrible.
of a close NBA game. How long that drive was, you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right, right. That drive was long as hell, and they couldn't put it in the end zone. All they had to do was put it in the end zone. They would have been good. That would have been a game.
That's funny. That's true.
But hey, look, he just made the Cowboys feel way better about themselves. They feel now they're unstoppable now because they won a game with Cooper Rush against the Vikings team. So, and that momentum is going to be very, very great for them going down the stretch. So I expect the Cowboys to go about 11-6 at the very least. At the very least, because they're 6-1 now. Yeah. I don't see them bombing anytime soon after a victory like that because now they got the utmost confidence. They're ready to go into any game feeling they can beat anybody now. But Trey Diggs is going to get exposed before the end of the season. I keep telling everybody it was a bunch of opportunistic interceptions. That dude's giving up almost the most yards in the NFL throwing it deep on him. And Thielen got him again last night. That dude's finna get exposed, man. He's just been great at getting opportunities, man. Can't knock him. He's good, but he's not shut down good. But that's what surprised me, man. Those 2 games killed me.
Hell yeah. Joe, what about you?
The games that surprised me was how well Miami hung around with Buffalo until the end of that game. That's a division game. I mean, that just goes to show you it doesn't matter how bad your team is, but when you play a division, you get amped up for a division game. And I think Buffalo might have been kind of looking past them until the second, that fourth quarter. I think Buffalo got caught sleeping a little bit there. That's something they're going to have to work on because if you look at the score of the game, Buffalo won, but they weren't putting points up till the end. I mean, there was mistakes by Miami and everything. And, is Tua really the quarterback for the Dolphins? I don't think he's going to be.
Yeah, I'm kind of being. I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead, Zion, because I mean,
no, I'm kind of being like I was so biased because you're from the island, and now I'm starting to see.
Right, I get it. You get love for a guy, I watched him in Alabama, and I have to really wonder how much that hip injury really affected him and bothered him. But his hip does have lower body to upper body to throw the ball, being left-handed. We don't know really if that's a nagging issue. I mean, he did drive the bone right up through his hip. So, I get it. He had a bad injury. And people have him amped up way too high, I think. Could he be a Ryan Tannehill type of quarterback with the right system? More than likely. He could be that guy,
Can I pose a question to you, Classified? And Big Pat, you can answer it too. What do you think if Tua goes to the Saints?
Right now?
Go ahead.
Not a fan. No.
Not a fan?
No, not a fan. If he had a couple more years experience, maybe, but bringing in when there's other veteran quarterbacks you can look at, like Cam Newton. I'm probably going to get killed for this, but I said Jimmy Garoppolo on another, trade for him. Get somebody in there with experience. Get somebody in there that can take the lead of this offense. I mean, Sean Payton's a hell of a play caller, hell of a coach. He knows how to get the most out of somebody. So whether it's one or two of those guys, I mean, even what's his name on the Bears, Nick Foles. Even him down there. I think those 3 are better options than Tua is right now. Tua's, and I'm not saying it's not talent. I think it's mental. He's going to have to get over a mental stumbling block. And are the Saints going to be able to work that magic within a week or two to get him to where he's not worried so much about the mental mistakes going into, being on a different team? How's that going to affect him? Because it does affect everybody.
Absolutely. And I was surprised too.
If you want me to answer Tua to the Saints, would that be good? No. I'm not giving up draft capital for Tua. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't high on Tua when he was coming out of Alabama. the way that he played, I was like, I don't see this translating to dominant NFL play. I just don't see it. Even when he was putting up all those numbers at Alabama, the thing I bring up is Dwayne Haskins. I felt the same way about him. He threw up 50 touchdowns at Ohio State, and I was like, no, I could look at this guy and tell him that he's not it.
Do you think that
the thing I go by off of when I evaluate these college kids is tape, but you gotta listen to their interviews too.
Sure.
You can find out a lot about a player just by listening to the way they talk and the way they act in their interviews. I go off vibes, and the vibe I got off Tua and Haskins was good.
I didn't like.
Not saying Tua is a bad
Haskins
person.
vibes.
Yeah, not to say Tua was a bad person. I just didn't get leadership vibes off Tua. I didn't get real super confidence out of Tua when he talks.
Right.
Same thing with Dwayne Haskins. Go ahead.
I think because Tua is a system quarterback and he had everything working right around him. And sometimes when you take that and you put him in these young quarterbacks into the NFL, like, you know, it starts to show, you know what I'm saying? And I think you're kind of right on that in the sense of I was, walking for my guy that was from the islands and stuff like that. And I knew he wasn't gonna be one of the tops. But when you have like the mainstream media, that's why you don't listen to those garbage half the time. He's the mobile Drew Brees, and they're giving him all this high pressure. And then when you get into the league, and not everything's working right around you, and how do you perform under pressure like that? That's how you separate the greats from the non-greats. And like what Pat was saying, like Tua is a good quarterback, but I feel too like I'm starting to see like he needs a lot of help.
Yes,
around him. He can't carry a team.
Yeah, he's not the quarterback that you draft to save your franchise. He's a quarterback that you could bring in when your franchise is already rolling on all cylinders, and you need a pass caller that could just get it to the receiver. He needs to be in a situation where there's basically no pressure on him. If that makes any sense. And I knew Dwayne Haskins wasn't going to be good just by his interviews. He was too cocky.
Yes.
And he believed that he was just hot stuff. And I was like, dude, you played, do you know what you played with over there in Ohio State? Like, no Ohio State quarterback shines. Justin Fields might be the first Ohio State quarterback to break the mold. And the jury's still out on him. I got to see what he does in his second season. But he's doing some good things this year, even though they lost to Jimmy G and the 49ers yesterday. The jury is still out on Justin Fields. I think he could break that mold, but I knew for a fact Dwayne Haskins wasn't going to be a great quarterback. If we would have took him number 6, you think this franchise is bad now?
Right.
Dwayne Haskins was the quarterback here. Woo.
Oh man.
And Louis Riddick wanted that guy over Daniel Jones so bad.
Yep.
And I'm gonna let you know. Washington wanted Daniel Jones too.
Yeah, it makes me. Denver wanted him too.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think like so. Pat, you're obviously a Florida fan. You watch college ball. Joe, you watch some college ball. Getting into it slowly. Zach Wilson came out of nowhere. Joe Burrow came out of nowhere. Stole the drafts. Well, not really, because obviously Trevor Lawrence got drafted. But Zach Wilson, from being nobody knows your name in 1 year, here getting drafted at number 2. Joe Burrow, everybody thought like no one knows your name outside of the top 10. Obviously, boom, have a good season. Boom, you get drafted at number 1. Talk of the town. No quarterbacks available in this draft. Is there any quarterback in this draft that could sneak its way into a top pick? I know we're not focusing on quarterbacks, but I'm hearing this, there's not really that much good quarterbacks. I'm looking at realists. I'm looking at these other ones that's riding the bench now. Just for the sake of people who follow college ball, is there any quarterbacks that you guys think could sneak their way to the top of the draft this year? And
of course.
if any.
Yeah, there's quarterbacks that could sneak in because there's going to be teams that need a quarterback. I mean,
and I was mostly asking if you guys have like any names you guys may want to unveil at the moment. If not, we can move on to the next question.
Look, I mean, I watched the Cincinnati game with Satter. Yeah, Ritter. That's it.
The Ritter.
I mean, he's got a lot of work to do. He's going to be a project. Malik Wills, I think he's going to be a project too. I think a lot of these guys are going to be projects, but look at the teams that are going to need a quarterback. If you're Detroit, I mean, you got Goff for the next 2 years. You can develop one of those guys. Is Miami going to be looking for a quarterback? Are the Eagles going to be looking for a quarterback? Is Washington going to be looking for a quarterback? You know, look at Louis Riddick as the perfect example. If a GM falls in love with one of these guys, he's going to go up and get them. You know, let's say Washington finishes with a number 9 draft pick. Who's to say they're not going to go up into the number 2 or number 3 spot to go up and grab one of those guys? Who's to say Detroit's, you know, if they're the first overall pick, who says they don't take Ritter or they don't take Wills and let him learn behind Goff and let him do the Aaron Rodgers thing? Sit on the bench for 2 years. You know, I've got Goff right now. I'm going to keep him on the field. I'm going to let him take the abuse. I'm going to build my team, get my offense, my defense, and then this kid's going to be able to go out there. It's going to happen. It happens every year. I mean, look at Chicago moving up for Mitch Trubisky. We never saw that coming. Nobody saw that one coming.
Yeah, and the only reason why I posed that question is I for one, I believe both of you guys agree. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I for one think that Daniel Jones is going to be our franchise quarterback. But just for the sake of the viewers, not all Giants fans think that. So that's why I posed that question. And Pat, you can take over.
I'm gonna give you a rundown of the quarterbacks that people say that are going to be good. Patrick Willis. I mean, Malik Willis. Malik Willis. I believe he's a project player. Mm-hmm. And it all depends on what you bring him in there for. If you bring him in there to be like this Michael Vick type quarterback, you're going to fail. You have to bring him in there and know that he's going to have to sit for a year or two to really learn. Mm-hmm. Not learn. I don't want to say learn the game because I don't want the fans to be like, oh, he's saying he's dumb. Or no, I'm not saying that.
Right.
He comes from Liberty. They play people like Syracuse or somebody like that, and he plays well against them. I don't see nothing wrong with the Lions taking him number 1 overall and letting him sit behind Goff for a year. And if y'all get tortured again with Goff, you bring in Malik Willis the next year, but let him learn the system. Yep. Let him get that clipboard first. Don't put him in there to the Wolves immediately because I think you'll ruin him. Yep. The second quarterback I'm thinking about, Sam Howell. I think he's a Baker Mayfield clone. I think he's Baker Mayfield all over again. He may have a little bit of stronger of an arm, but I think I have to see his interviews. I have to see the amount of cockiness this kid has because North Carolina quarterbacks don't fare out that well either. Just be real with you. And I believe he wants to be a gunslinger like a Brett Favre or something like that, but he's not that. I think he's another quarterback that would benefit from sitting his first year, learning the system, and just let him take a business aspect to the game first before you put him in there in the Wolves. I think the best situation for him, to be honest with you, is the Minnesota Vikings. If you put Sam Howell on the Minnesota Vikings, I believe he's a better version of Kirk Cousins. And he's more athletic, and he has a better arm, and I think him and those weapons can mesh.
I like what you did there. You want to get rid of Cousins, and you found his replacement.
You said Pittsburgh?
Yeah, what about Pittsburgh?
I think the expectations are too high for him in Pittsburgh.
You think so?
Sam Howell looks like a Pittsburgh quarterback, huh? He looks like he'll get drafted by Pittsburgh.
I don't think he'll mesh in Pittsburgh. I think Minnesota is the perfect fit for Sam Howell. Okay.
Minnesota.
Then you got Matt Corral. He's the quarterback that you know, Matt Corral from Ole Miss.
Oh, Ole Miss's quarterback. They've been doing good.
He just got hurt, I believe. But you bring him in. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can start him his first season, but he's gonna struggle. but he is a quarterback that you can start your first season and see what you got with him. I think the best situation for him would be Denver. Over there in Denver, Matt Corral, he has the arm talent. He's just as mobile as a Bridgewater or a Drew Lock when he first came out there, but he's way better than Drew Lock. He makes better decisions. I think he just needs to work on his deep ball accuracy a little bit, and he's going to have to learn the game as well because, Ole Miss runs that wide open system. So
Yep.
Any system that comes in where you have to go underneath the center, you're going to have to give him some time to learn that. I believe he can. I'm not saying that he'll be great, but he'll be good. The best quarterback I think that's in this class is Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Kenny Pickett is the type of quarterback that you have to sit him a year too. Sit him 1 year and let him learn to sit. We need to get back to that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, everybody's starting their quarterbacks too early.
Yes.
Gucci. Well,
we need to get back to that, bro.
That's a lot of knowledge right there, and make sure you guys go check out Big Pat Sports Talk. Go check out Joe. Go check out their channels. For the final 10 minutes, I'm just gonna turn it over to you guys. Method of victory for tonight's game, if there is one, and your guys' score prediction. Whoever wants to go first, and you guys can take up the full 10 minutes. You guys can go 5-5.
All right, go ahead, Joe.
My key is we've got to get home with 4 pass rushers. That way we can drop, 7 into coverage, because Kelsey and Tyreek Hill are going to be running around loose back there. If that front 4 dominates the way it should against the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL right now, there's no reason why these guys, but you got to hold contain. You cannot go past if you're a defensive edge. Once you get to the level of Mahomes, you've got to stay there. Close the pocket up. Let him decide don't give him a lane. Make him pick a lane, because that's when you can shed your blocker and get to him. I don't know if it's going to be a lot of sacks, but being able to get the push up the middle and keep him contained on the edge and don't let him beat you with your legs is key number 1. Key number 2 is we have to do what we did last week. Do not give up on the run. Keep running the ball. That drops down the linebackers. That drops down the safeties. And with Shepard and Tony playing, they're going to get open. Having that RPO, having that available is going to be huge. And having the play action pass is going to be huge if we keep showing that we're willing to run the ball. That's what gave DJ time last week. It's going to have to be almost the same thing this week. Just mix the plays up a little bit. Get him different looks.
All right. I mean, Joe hit it right on the head, man. We have to get pass rush with our front 4. Lorenzo Carter's out today. I seen a report that's saying Zenith is going to have to step up. I'm going to say this. I don't think Zenith gets hardly any play time tonight.
I don't either.
I believe Ojulari and Roche is going to get most of the playing time tonight. Thing is that a lot of people are not mentioning, I didn't even mention in my top 5 keys, is you can't let Kansas City run the ball.
Yeah.
I mean by that, you can't let them get 6 to 7 yards on first down because they're going to eat you alive. You have to keep them in 3rd and long situations and get front pressure with that front 4, and hopefully you can make Mahomes make some mistakes. Is he going to make a couple of miraculous throws? Yes, he is. He's that type of quarterback. He can run all the way to the right and throw it to his left accurately to Tyreek Hill and McCole Hardman and wind up getting the first down. Don't get discouraged if he does that. You go right back onto the next set of downs and you get after his ass again. You keep making him run all night long.
Yes.
If he beats you that way, then more power to him.
So be it. Yeah.
So be it. But you hit Travis Kelce. I don't care if it's a run play. You hit Travis Kelce all night long. He's a different player when he gets hit.
Yep.
He's not that bravado guy. He's not doing jumpers in the middle of the field, throwing first downs and all that crap. When he's getting hit, he does not like it. You can see him on the sidelines looking like he lost his brother or something.
Because not to interrupt, we do not want Kelce feasting over that middle all night. And
if he catches it across that middle, I don't care who it is, light his ass up. Make him know that he's gonna get lit up every time he catches that ball across the middle.
Yes.
because you might have an 8-catch game for 78 yards or 80 yards, but you earn every last one of them 80 yards, and it wasn't an impact because you didn't. Pretty soon you're gonna start dropping them because you don't want to get hit. I've seen him do it. Seen him do it in the Super Bowl. I saw him do it a couple of weeks ago when he was getting hit. He just started dropping the ball. They was doing the same thing against the Washington football team before that game broke open after Taylor Heineke threw them a couple of interceptions. And then they started partying and doing all that crazy stuff again.
Yep.
But Mahomes got hit again, didn't he? He got hit again. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, when they played the Titans was hitting their ass that whole game. Yep. Every time Kelce caught that ball, hit.
Mike Vrabel's team was ready to hit.
Right. That's the way you play with the Chiefs. You got to get physical with them, and you got to make your tackles. If you go out there and miss tackles against the Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to eat you alive. I know it's easier said than done, but Tyreek Hill, if you bottle him up, you hit him with 2 to 3 people every time he touches that ball. Don't let him get behind this defense, because if you do, it's going to be a long night.
And another thing real quick is Mahomes will turn the ball over. He's been turnover prone. We have to take advantage, not field goals. We have to go and put – yes, exactly, because Mahomes has been known to throw 4 picks or 4 turnovers and come back and win the game because the other team's offense could not move the ball or only go down and get 3. So with each turnover, we need touchdowns. We need to take advantage of that. Get them down and depressed. If we can get up by 14, we might have a chance.
Let's get a score prediction, and then you guys can plug your channels, and we'll get out of here. Let's get it.
Score prediction?
You want me to go first?
Go for it, Zion.
I think this is a game that we was talking about all week. And now that the day is here, and I know this doesn't matter when you have Patrick Mahomes, but we're leading them in all categories. That's the 31st defense in the league. We're leading them. We're a better offense than they are on paper. I think if our defense shows up and our offense executes, and we take both of what you guys said and we execute a game plan, there's a possibility that we can probably sneak a field goal type of win out of this game. It's going to be close. I don't have us beating them like how we beat the Panthers. I have it being a long night where we execute, and if we do that correctly, I can have us win in 27-24.
Go ahead, Joe.
You know what? I got a feeling. I've had a feeling all week. I get goosebumps. And Giants win 32-24.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm going out there.
You said 32-24, huh?
I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to say 32-24.
I will say this. I think we beat the Chiefs 24-20. Reason is I believe this defense holds on just enough to stop Patrick Mahomes and them coming back. I think we jump out to an early lead like 10-0. Then, they put up a field goal. We put up a field goal, and then they score a touchdown. We put up another field goal. They score another touchdown, then we wind up getting the touchdown. And I think, man, we're gonna pull this out, man. With Kadarius Toney out there tonight against that secondary, I believe he feasts. If his ankle is okay, I will say this: don't put that boy out there if his ankle is not at least 90 to 95%.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's another thing we need to stop doing.
I don't want to re-injure Toney and stuff. I don't want to jinx it, but you know what I'm saying? I want our players healthy. I don't want them to be forcing to play on injuries.
Right.
Yeah. That's another thing this league needs to stop doing. Stop putting these guys back out there super early knowing that they're not ready. You have to save them from themselves sometimes.
True that. They're competitors.
These guys are warriors. They're going to go out there and play if you allow them to play. But if you know in your heart that guy's not ready, don't put him out there because it's only going to destroy his career. And one last thing, we need to get back to sitting these quarterbacks that we draft for a year or two and letting them learn, because that's the crazy thing. We're throwing these quarterbacks out there to the wolves, expecting them to
grown man, straight out of college. Go against this grown man.
Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league right now. Guess what? He sat behind Alex Smith for a year.
Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett.
So Rodgers sat behind Brett 3 years.
Yeah, 3.
Lamar Jackson sat his first year. He didn't start as soon as he came out. Lamar Jackson came in towards the end of the season. You gotta let these kids learn, man. You throwing them right there like they're just supposed to be Joe Montana they first snap. It's not gonna happen. It's a different league, it's a different speed, it's different concepts, it's different talent. These kids are coming from college playing on teams that are way more talented than the other teams that they playing week after week after week until you play like Alabama.
Yes.
So you really only get to judge these kids on really about 3 to 4 games a year when they play a number 1 ranked team or a number 5 ranked team. You're not getting a full evaluation of these kids. So why you keep throwing them out there immediately? Even Eli Manning said a couple of games.
He didn't start till week 7, week 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Eli Manning was getting absolutely tortured when he first got into the league. Look at some of those Eagles hits he was receiving because he didn't know what was going on.
Oof.
I thought that kid was going to be injured. When he got back up, I said, this kid's tough as hell. After that hit that he received, because that hit was brutal.
Look at what happened to Andrew Luck because he got beat up and abused.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's not going to be like an Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, he came out, he could start immediately because he was trained well over there in Stanford. Stanford had quarterbacks coaches over there at the time that were brilliant.
Yes.
And he was just a different type guy. Peyton Manning, different type guy.
Type of guy.
Tom Brady, he caught a break.
Tom Brady sat for a while too.
He was behind Drew Bledsoe. He caught a break.
Yep.
It's just that he was a special guy when it came to the clutch at the time, and that's what got him. Remember, Tom Brady didn't go ape shit in those Super Bowls when he was winning. A lot of Super Bowls, it was field goals at the end.
Yep.
And yeah, in his younger days, didn't they have a really good defense in his younger days?
Oh yeah, they had
defenses,
great defenses.
Yeah. Yep, great defense. And then you had the greatest defensive-minded coach probably to this day, Bill Belichick. He's just he was a great coach, and he found the perfect guy for his system.
Yep,
and it just worked out. But other than that, man, you get these kids killed. Michael Vick. I mean, he's Michael Vick. He was different when he came out. You can't keep throwing these quarterbacks in there and expect them to just be awesome. And it's not going to happen because it's a different league. It's a different speed. That's the hardest position to go to the next level is the quarterback because you got DB.
In the famous quotes of Nick Saban, I just want to get a win. It's like playing Alabama every week.
Right. Like, you got to think that curl pattern that you can hit Jerry Jeudy when you was in college, because that DB is just nowhere near the caliber of receiver Jerry Jeudy is, so he's 10 yards behind.
Right.
You got people like Jalen Ramsey that's better than Jeudy, and you throw it over there if you want to. He's right there waiting on it.
Yep.
And it's a different speed.
Higher.
I think Tua got thrown to the Wolves too early. Way too early. He's not that type of quarterback.
Look at Josh Rosen. He got thrown to the Wolves because their offensive line sucks, and then everybody doesn't even want to.
Yeah, and Josh Rosen got a raw deal. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. Josh Rosen got a raw deal. That Cardinals franchise was absolutely terrible when Josh Rosen was there, and they did nothing but say, "Here, take us to victory." And then you get rid of the head coach after 1 year, and then you bring in a head coach that wants another guy. And they got the number 1 pick. They draft Kyler Murray. You're out of here. You go to the Dolphins in a similar situation. They sucked when you got there. They didn't start their rebuild until what? They got rid of you. So damn. Sometimes your luck is bad, bro. Yeah. And he's never going to get another job. I don't believe so. I don't think he's going to get another job. And it's sad. I mean, because he was arrogant too. Let's be real.
Yep,
he had his fault. He was very arrogant, but I think he just got a raw deal, and sometimes it just works out like that.
Absolutely. And in that, guys, we went over the 30-minute mark, but it's all good. Make sure you guys go check out Joel, go check out Pat. The channels are going to be down below in the description. And is there anything else you guys want to plug before we get out of here?
No, just thanks for having us on, man. Appreciate it. I love talking with you.
This is dope, man. This is a dope idea, man.
I like this.
Someone came up with it.
Yeah, no, dope, you can take it. You can cop the idea. Do it on your channel too. Let's get it. Nothing's wrong with that.
This is your stick, man. Continue to find people to come to your 30-minute sessions, bro, because this is dope, man. I love
this.
I love this, man.
I appreciate that. And they'll be back on future episodes in no time, fam. Hey, let's get it. You guys have a good one. Thank you.